There's a currency you've been spending recklessly your whole life. Handing it out to people who don't even respect you, to situations that drain you dry, to a world that's basically designed to consume it. That currency is your attention. And because you give it away so freely, it stops meaning anything. The more you react, the more you let other people steer your focus, the less control you actually have over your own life. Now, just imagine how different things could look if you started reclaiming that power. What would it feel like to only hand your attention to what genuinely matters, to the people and things that actually add value to your life? Stoicism teaches that the real key to mastering your mind and your emotions is simply choosing where you direct your attention. Get that under control, and you get your peace, your energy, honestly, your whole trajectory, back under control too. Picture this. You're in a heated argument. Someone says something that flips a switch in you, and instantly you feel that urge to fire back, to defend yourself, to prove you're right. But have you ever stopped and actually asked yourself, why? Why do their words have that much power over your emotions? It's not really the words themselves. It's the meaning we assign to them, the emotion we attach on top. We react because some part of us thinks if we don't, we'll lose something. Our dignity, our respect, control of the situation. But here's the truth. The second you react, you've already lost. You've handed your power over to the situation and let it dictate your feelings, your actions, your whole state of mind. Stoicism's lesson here is simple but honestly profound. We can't control other people's actions, only our response to them. That's where the real power actually lives, inside our own response. In those tense moments, when everything in you wants to lash out, there's a quiet kind of strength in choosing to stay unshaken, choosing silence over reaction, calm over chaos. Here's the thing. Most of us don't even realize how often we hand our power away. Think about how many times you've argued over something genuinely trivial. A passing comment, an unfair jab, an accusation that wasn't even true. Did fighting back actually change anything? Or did it just pour gasoline on the fire? When we react, we usually just add ourselves to the drama, become part of the chaos instead of standing apart from it. But when we stop reacting, when we choose to be the calm inside the storm, we break the whole cycle. We stop feeding it. And in doing that, we get our emotional state back. The peace you build for yourself by not responding is worth so much more than the quick hit of being right in the moment. Think about how many times you've let someone else's words or actions completely ruin your day, your mood, your peace, without even noticing that's exactly what was happening. And to be clear, none of this is about going passive or becoming a doormat. It's about deciding which battles are actually worth fighting and which just aren't. Choosing when to engage Stoicism puts this idea front and center. Not every confrontation needs a response. Not every insult or challenge deserves your energy. The skill is in knowing when to step in and when to just let it go. Picture this. Every time someone tries to provoke you, you meet it with silence, not because you have nothing to say, but because you've learned the power of picking your own moment. This doesn't mean ignoring things that actually matter or dodging real conversations. The real strength is knowing what deserves your attention and what doesn't. What you let occupy your mind ends up shaping how you experience life. Feed every insult and every jab your attention, and you're feeding the negativity. Withhold it from what doesn't serve you, and you build real emotional resilience, a buffer between you and the noise. Think about the people you respect most. What actually sets them apart? Usually, it's not volume. It's not their constant need to be seen. It's their quiet confidence. They don't react to every little thing. They're grounded, secure, unshaken by the noise around them. That's the power of emotional detachment. Being able to observe without getting entangled. Not coldness, not indifference. Just being mindful about where your energy actually goes. This connects to the old Stoic idea that virtue is its own reward. It was never about winning every argument or always being right. It's about mastering yourself, cultivating inner peace, no matter what chaos is swirling outside. That's strategic detachment, not running from challenges, but engaging with the world from a place of strength, not weakness. Ignoring, done right, is really a tool for mental freedom. It's walking through life not controlled by other people's opinions, not knocked around by every passing emotion, but anchored in your own values. This doesn't mean checking out of everything. It means choosing where your attention goes, on purpose, deciding what's worth your energy and what's just static. The world's always going to throw challenges your way. People will test you. Situations will push back. But once you practice the art of ignoring, you stop being a puppet reacting to outside forces. You become the one actually in control. The practice builds. Slowly, this kind of emotional mastery doesn't happen overnight. It's a journey, noticing the moment right before you're about to react and choosing something different. Unlearning the automatic responses that used to run the show. Somewhere in that process, life starts feeling more peaceful, more focused, more intentional. The less you react to the world, the more bandwidth you free up for what actually matters: your growth, your purpose, your peace. Marcus Aurelius put it well: the happiness of your life depends on the quality of your thoughts. Stop giving your attention away to everything that disturbs you, and you get back the ability to shape your own thoughts, your own reality. As you practice this, you'll start noticing something. The less you engage with unnecessary drama, the more control you actually have over your internal state. You stop reacting from weakness and start responding from strength. You realize the world's always going to throw things at you. You just don't have to catch every single one. All that noise becomes just that: background noise, not the soundtrack of your life. You start seeing people and situations clearly, without the fog that emotional reactivity leaves behind. At the end of the day, the art of ignoring isn't about being indifferent or checked out. It's about choosing where your energy goes and protecting your mental space, being present, but not at the mercy of every passing feeling, finding strength in silence, peace in your own head. The moment you stop reacting, you get your power back, and in that power, there's real freedom. Why silence shifts the dynamic. So much of your energy gets spent reacting to other people, arguing, explaining, defending, justifying. But what if none of that was actually necessary? What if you could step off that hamster wheel entirely? The people who thrive off your reactions, whether it's drama, insults, or just demanding your energy, only keep doing it because they've learned you'll give it to them. They feed off the emotional response. The second you stop supplying that, you break the cycle. And the more you practice this, the more you start seeing just how much power you've been giving away without even realizing it. Withdrawing sends a clear message: you don't control me. And that's liberating, not just for the other person, though honestly, mostly for you. We tend to associate silence with weakness, with avoidance, even with cowardice. But in reality, it might be one of the most powerful tools in your emotional toolkit. People expect a reaction. They expect you to fight back, argue, justify yourself. When you refuse to play along, the whole power dynamic shifts. This isn't about avoiding conflict. It's about choosing how you engage with it. The silence isn't retreat. It's standing your ground without needing to prove a single thing to anyone. The more you practice this, the more you'll notice how people behave when you don't react. They get confused, a little anxious even. They wonder why you're not biting, and that uncertainty ends up working in your favor. When you stop reacting, you stop reinforcing their behavior. Their attempts to provoke you just lose their punch. The moment they realize the words don't land the way they used to, they lose their grip on you. But here's the deeper part. You're not just teaching them something by withholding your attention. You're teaching yourself something more valuable. By resisting the urge to react, you're proving to yourself that your peace matters more than any outside drama. That's emotional mastery. A core Stoic principle. Control over your own responses, no matter what the world throws. The more you practice, the more natural it gets. You start pulling your energy back from things that don't matter, people who don't respect you, situations that only drain you. The beauty of it is how simple it actually is. You don't need to say anything. You don't need to do anything. It just requires you not engaging with what doesn't deserve your time. As a Stoic mindset teaches, your mind is your most valuable possession. Nobody gets to control it without your consent. Every time you don't react, you're asserting exactly that. Internal mastery, not just external. This isn't only about outside relationships. It's about internal mastery too. A lot of the time we chase validation because we're not sure of ourselves. We let our emotional state be decided by how others perceive us. But the more you pull your attention away from distraction and outside noise, the more you start turning inward, trusting yourself instead. That's a practice of self-reliance. The old Stoics understood that a peaceful, purposeful life was never about chasing approval from the world. It was about aligning with your own values, regardless of what's happening around you. When you detach from needing outside validation, you strengthen your own internal foundation. You start defining your worth by what you actually know to be true about yourself, not by what other people think. You don't need anyone's permission to be at peace. You don't need to prove anything. Resisting the urge to react doesn't just protect your peace, it builds a deeper layer of self-discipline. This isn't just about brushing off an insult or dodging petty drama. It's about training yourself to stay unaffected by the world around you, becoming so grounded in your own sense of self that nothing really shakes you. Seneca said it well. It's not that we have a short life, it's that we waste a lot of it, reacting to every small irritation, letting minor annoyances dictate your emotional state. That's a waste of precious time and energy. Better to direct that attention toward what actually nourishes you, what helps you grow. Every time you resist reacting, you reclaim a small piece of yourself. Over time, you'll need to react less and less. The less you care what others think, the more freedom you actually have to focus on your own path. That's real mastery. Toxic people feed on reaction. People crave attention. It's just a part of human nature. But some people, especially the ones who thrive on drama or manipulation, take it a step further. They seek that validation through provoking others. Every time you give them your attention, you reinforce the idea that they matter. Their words no longer have to affect you unless you let them picture it. Someone insults you, tries to bait you into a fight, plays some manipulative little game. Old, you might have felt that immediate pull to fight back, to prove them wrong. New, you just observes. Lets it pass, the way you'd let a distant noise pass. Toxic people know exactly how to push your buttons, but the more you engage, the more power you're handing them. So, what happens if you simply stop? You stop feeding their need for drama, stop validating the behavior, and take away the one thing they actually want: your attention. It's like a tug of war where, instead of pulling harder, you just let go of the rope. They're left holding nothing. You're free to keep moving, unburdened. Not every battle deserves a fight. Not every opinion carries weight. Step back, and you carve out real space for what actually matters, instead of pouring energy into things that just drain you. Becoming the calm in the storm, learning the art of ignoring is really learning the art of self-control. It's how you hold your peace inside chaos. And this applies far beyond toxic people. It applies to situations, challenges, anything that tries to throw off your balance. You become the calm center, the anchor that doesn't move no matter how hard the world tugs at it. So how do you actually put this into practice day to day? Small. It starts small. Those tiny moments when the urge to react flares up. Someone cuts you off in traffic. A passive-aggressive comment lands. A friend or coworker tries to pull you emotionally. Instead of reacting, take a breath. Pause. Choose to stay in control. Direct your energy toward your own peace, your own goals. The more you do it, the easier it gets. Eventually, it just becomes second nature. And this isn't manipulation or some game. It's a simple truth about human nature. People respect scarcity. Show up for everyone all the time, and there's nothing special about that anymore. But hold back. Reserve your energy for what actually deserves it, and you become something rare. And people are drawn to that, whether they'd admit it or not. The same reason we value anything hard to obtain. A rare gem, a limited release. When you're less accessible, you're quietly saying your time is precious, that it has to be earned. Think of yourself as something rare. Only a few people should get close enough to actually see it up close. That doesn't mean shutting people out or going cold. It just means becoming more discerning about where your focus lands. You stop giving it to people who don't respect it and start reserving it for the ones who do. Respect for your own energy. Carl Jung once said, "You are what you do, not what you say you'll do." Same goes for your attention. Give it away indiscriminately, and you're quietly signaling you don't value it much yourself. Reserve it deliberately, and you show the world and yourself that it's worth something. The key here is respect. Respect for yourself, your time, your emotional energy. Not rudeness, not spite, just recognizing that your presence should be earned, not assumed. Imagine walking through life with that kind of calm, not needing to react to every person or every situation trying to pull you in. You are the one in control, and people notice. When they see you're not easily swayed, they tend to respect you more. You stop being just another participant in the chaos and start being the one standing slightly outside it, unaffected, steady. This shift changes more than how people see you. It changes how you see yourself. You stop viewing yourself as someone perpetually at the mercy of other people's needs. You stop trying to prove your worth by always being available for everyone. Instead, you start understanding your worth is intrinsic, not measured by how much you give, but by how deliberately you choose who and what gets it. Withholding your attention creates space for what actually matters: your growth, relationships that genuinely nourish you, your own peace. It's not an overnight shift. It takes practice, especially if you're used to being the one who's always available. But over time, it becomes second nature. You'll notice you feel less drained, less stressed, more in control, and you'll start realizing how much emotional energy was going to people and things that never deserved it in the first place. True connection isn't one-sided. You might be thinking, but what if this person genuinely needs my attention? What if they're really trying to connect? Fair question. It's natural to want to show up for people, especially the ones who matter. Withholding attention can feel cold, even wrong on the surface. But here's where the Stoic view actually helps. Real connection was never about constantly pouring your energy into others, especially when they take without offering anything back. It's about mutual respect, for them and for yourself. Give your attention to people who only take, and you're quietly diminishing your own value. Withhold it, and you're not devaluing them. You're protecting your own peace, your own mental space. Here's an interesting effect. When you stop reacting to someone's behavior, you force them to actually sit with themselves. Subtle, but powerful. Instead of handing them the emotional reaction they're fishing for, you take away their ability to provoke you. In that silence, they're not getting the validation they were after, and they're left to reflect on their own actions, whether they like it or not. People who constantly provoke or manipulate thrive on getting a rise out of others. They've learned their words have the power to disturb your peace. Stop feeding that narrative, and they lose the power entirely. Jung had a line for this too. Everything that irritates us about others can point us toward understanding ourselves. When you stop reacting, you give them the space to reckon with why they need that reaction in the first place. And often, in that reckoning, their own flaws start showing. None of this means becoming dismissive or avoiding every hard conversation. It's about recognizing when someone's actions are pulling you somewhere that doesn't serve your peace. Building a kind of boundary, a protective layer around your emotional energy. Not everyone who wants your attention has good intentions. Not everyone reaching out is coming from honesty or mutual respect. Recognizing that gives you control over your own emotional response. Instead of letting someone else's behavior set your mood, you get to decide when and where your attention actually goes. Withdraw your attention from someone consistently draining or manipulative, and you're not punishing them. You're just choosing to invest that energy where it's actually met with balance and respect. And the ones who've been feeding off your energy, they'll notice the absence. They might even push harder to provoke a reaction. But instead of frustration, you start recognizing it for exactly what it is, an attempt to manipulate. And that recognition alone is liberating. Emotionally untouchable. The more you practice not reacting, the more you realize just how often you were being subtly manipulated without even noticing. That mastery doesn't come from constantly engaging with every situation. It comes from the wisdom to know when to hold your ground, when to stay quiet, when to just step back. The more you practice, the clearer people become to you. You stop seeing every comment or criticism as a personal attack and start seeing it for what it is. External noise with no real power over you, unless you hand it that power. The beauty here is that this practice is available to you at any moment. No tools, No special skill required. Just the choice to stop reacting, stop feeding the drama, and start protecting your own peace. And the more you do it, the more you'll notice you feel energized rather than drained by your own choices. The noise inside your own head. Here's where it gets even deeper. The real power of ignoring shows up when you master it, not just with other people, but inside yourself. How often do you give your attention to thoughts, fears, or insecurities that don't actually serve you? That constant stream of worry and self-doubt can be even more distracting than any external drama. We all know that voice, telling you you're not good enough, that you're bound to fail, that everyone's silently judging you. When you let those thoughts occupy your mental space, you're not really different from someone constantly reacting to outside chaos. The more attention you feed those internal distractions, the more control they have over you. The Stoics understood this. Real strength comes from mastering your internal dialogue, knowing which thoughts actually deserve your attention, and which ones you can just let pass through. Picture this. You make a mistake, maybe small, maybe not. Watch how your mind reacts. Do you beat yourself up over it? Replay it on a loop? Make yourself feel worse and worse? Or maybe you spiral into worrying what other people think, convinced their judgment defines your worth. That whole cycle, self-criticism, worry, is a kind of mental reactivity, no different from reacting to outside drama. It drains you, keeps you stuck in a loop instead of moving forward. But what if, instead of feeding it, you just let it pass? Choosing not to hand your attention to every worry that pops up is a form of emotional intelligence. The ability to step back and observe your own thoughts without getting swallowed by them. The more you practice, the easier it gets to navigate your own inner world without being swept up in every negative thought. It's not an easy skill, and it takes time. But the noise gradually gets quieter, less frequent. You start creating space for clarity, for focus, for actual peace. And here's the freeing part. So much of our suffering doesn't come from the world itself, but from the stories we tell ourselves about what's happening. We catastrophize, assume the worst, let our minds spiral into what-ifs. Learn to ignore that mental chatter, and you free up energy to focus on what's real, what's actually within your control. It's like cleaning out a cluttered room inside your own head. Clear the distractions, and there's space for what actually matters. And as that mental clarity builds, you start noticing more peace in your everyday life, less affected by outside chaos, less swayed by other people's opinions, more focused on your own path. Living with intention. The Stoics believed the good life meant living in accordance with nature, aligning yourself with what's actually within your control, and releasing your grip on everything that isn't. That principle of inner control, of choosing to ignore what doesn't serve you, sits right at the center of that philosophy. Living intentionally, without being swayed by the noise, mastering the art of ignoring your own internal distractions, opens a door to real inner peace. It's a process of becoming less reactive, more intentional, more grounded in your own values. Stop letting your mind spiral into negativity and self-doubt, and you make room for growth, creativity, a deeper connection to yourself. That's the path to emotional resilience, facing challenges without being overwhelmed, staying focused on what matters, and continuing to move forward with purpose. Walk that path long enough, and the world around you actually starts to feel different. Because you're no longer at the mercy of outside circumstances or your own runaway mind. Which brings us to maybe the most important piece of all this: staying present without being consumed by the world around you. It's easy to fall into the trap of reacting to everything. People, situations, events, all demanding your attention, your energy, your emotions. But what if you could walk through life largely unaffected by the noise? Choosing where your energy goes instead of handing it out to every distraction that shows up. That's the real power of ignoring. Not running from life, not retreating into isolation. It's choosing what actually deserves your energy. Being fully present in your own life without being pulled apart by every external force. You decide what matters, and you stay focused on that without getting derailed. Becoming your own source of validation. Once you stop chasing validation and start focusing on your own growth, you find a kind of power that's genuinely hard to shake. You're no longer relying on other people's approval to define your worth. Your self-worth starts coming from within instead. That's liberating. It's the actual foundation of real personal strength. Once you're not chasing approval, you're free to pursue what genuinely matters to you. You stop living by expectations set by other people and start defining your own path, your own purpose. Carl Jung said, "The privilege of a lifetime is becoming who you truly are." And that starts with ignoring the external noise long enough to focus on your own internal growth. The world will always try to pull you into its chaos. People wanting to drag you into their drama, distractions steering you off course. But practicing the art of ignoring keeps you anchored. The key is staying focused on your own goals, resisting the pull to react to everything happening around you. Like a Stoic emperor walking calmly through a noisy marketplace, unbothered, knowing that you control your mind, your attention, and in the end, your direction. This isn't about pretending everything's perfect or shutting life out. It's about not letting the chaos dictate your emotions or actions. You choose where your attention goes, and in doing that, you take back your inner world. That's really where the power lives, not in reacting to everything around you, but in staying anchored, grounded, and focused on purpose. Stop chasing outside validation, and you stop handing away your power. You reclaim your emotions, your energy, your actions. You become the one steering your own life, and nothing external gets to take that away. This is a practice. It takes time and discipline, but once it starts clicking, you'll feel the shift. More peace, more control, less power handed over to the outside world. And none of this means becoming detached or indifferent to people. It just means learning to set real boundaries, giving your energy to what actually matters, your growth, your relationships, your purpose, and letting go of what only drains you. As the Stoics taught, we can't control what happens around us, only how we respond to it. Choose not to react, and you take your power back, building a life that's genuinely yours, one where you stay unshaken no matter what's swirling outside. Imagine moving through your day with that kind of clarity, not getting pulled into every argument, every distraction, moving through the world with purpose, directing your energy where it actually serves your growth. That's the power of ignoring, not apathy, not avoidance. Strength. Ignore the noise, and you create the space to focus on what matters. Less reactive, more intentional, with your time, your energy, your peace. You stop needing outside validation. You stop reacting to everything. You start moving through the world with quiet confidence, knowing your peace and your purpose are firmly in your own hands. And the more you practice this, the stronger it gets, navigating life with grace, resilience, and real intention. True power was always coming from within, and mastering the art of ignoring is how you finally claim it. Stay grounded, stay focused, protect your inner world, and keep investing in your own growth. Thank you for being part of this. Keep walking the path of peace, purpose, and wisdom.